Once again, we have been trawling through the archives of the almighty TIG TV and found this gem hidden away at the bottom of a long disused filing cabinet. Mr Pewter Fenters presented a series of programmes titled Etiquette for Gentlemen in his own unique way. These were originally broadcast during the summer of 1961.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first in a new series where I, Mr Pewter Fenters, shall be looking at everyday etiquette for gentlemen and dogs. Later in the series, I shall advise on how to conduct oneself when at a ball, attending a dinner party, being in church, or even how to behave when travelling by omnibus. Since the end of the Second World War, there's been a sharp decline in good manners amongst Sangmyangyan. Yes, this series will hopefully reverse the trend, and once more gentlemen will be able to uphold the fine traditions of this country, heralded throughout the centuries. Yes. In this episode, I shall be looking at good manners. They say that manners maketh man, and this is true. Good manners are what separate gentlemen from the riffraff, or pedigrees from the mongrels. A gentleman should be just that, a gentleman. This should become evident through his words, actions and deeds. He should be self-confident but not overbearing. He should be attentive to the needs of others, especially the elderly or the lame. Those who just need to hear a few words of comfort, or to sympathise when a chum has just returned from the vet's after being neutered. A gentleman should remain calm in the face of adversity and be able to display the British stiff upper lip. He should not head off to his kennel with his tail between his legs. No. He should be prepared to celebrate the triumphs of his family, his friends and his work colleagues without being in any way jealous. He should listen to their woes with quiet sympathy and be able to offer sound advice, but only if it is requested. Of course, a true gentleman would never whine or howl in public. Do not appear to be pompous or walk around with a show of arrogance. It is also considered very bad manners to growl at the postman or sink your teeth into the leg of a constable. Yes. The latter will definitely see you confined to the doghouse. Getting intoxicated is now frowned upon, as is swearing. Yes. Engaging in either of these will lead to a so-called gentleman being cut by his peers. Yes. Do not make a buffoon of yourself by always jesting. Do not keep seeking attention by running around in circles, or trying on silly hats, or of course licking your own genitals. Yes. If you are allowed into the front parlour while afternoon tea is being served by the maid, be careful when you are wagging your tail that you do not knock over the plates, cups and saucers. Oh, this is me and my brother with our mater. Yes, the photographic reproduction was taken when we were still young puppies. Yes. If you find that the talk from the rest of the company is becoming tedious and you are growing bored, you should never pass the time, never, by urinating in a plant pot or up against the furniture. Yes. Speaking, a gentleman should pronounce his words correctly and should not slur his speech. No. It is most distressing if you are engaged in conversation with a lady of high society and she has to keep asking you to repeat what you have just said. Yes. Also, do not bark loudly at her and never try to nestle your face into her cleavage. Yes. Yes. When having social intercourse with a bitch, do not talk down to her with small talk. Show an interest in what she has to say. Do not hog the conversation and rarely mention yourself or your achievements. Yes, even if you are on intimate terms with her, do not mention past conquests, no, or how many pups you may have sired. Yes. If you happen to introduce to someone of higher standing than yourself, then make sure you address them in the correct manner. Yes, dukes and archbishops should be called Your Grace. Earls and viscounts and barons should be addressed as My Lord. For those in the armed forces, make sure to address them by their correct rank. Yes, when talking to a duchess or a countess, it is seen as bad manners to hump her leg. Yes. At the other end of the scale, indoor servants such as your maids, footman or boot boy may be called by their first name, while outdoor servants should always be addressed by their surname. Yes. And finally, remember that nothing really gets solved by becoming angry or losing one's temper. A man who can resolve a situation in a calming manner or keep his head in a crisis when all around are flailing, then he is worthy of the epithet gentleman. Well, that is all for this time. In the next episode, I shall advise you on how to behave when out in the street. Goodbye.